Hey, it's Chris Aiken from the Classic Metal Show. Most people know me as the foul-mouthed shock jock from the Classic Metal Show, or the no-nonsense heavy metal critic from pitriff.com. Now you get to learn the other side. My first book, Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness, comes out on January 13th in paperback and digital formats on Amazon and iTunes. It details my real-world emotional struggles over a year that included a divorce after a quarter-century of marriage and the death of my father. It profiles things I did right, as well as a bevy of things that I did wrong with the help of alcohol, and how I found my way out of the muck of the emotional state that almost saw me commit suicide. Pre-order your copy of Little Victories, A Tale of Divorce, Debauchery, and Finding Happiness today at www.chrisaikenbooks.com and get in touch with the more fallible side of me, Chris Aiken. Sounds happy, huh?
It's Dockin' right here on your Classic Metal Show, kicking off 2014, the 30th anniversary of the release of Tooth and Nail. And kicking off the show here, we played a Def Leppard tune there with Switch 625 in commemoration of the passing of Steve Clark. 2 anniversaries here on the Classic Metal Show. And welcome to 2014. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, and it is a new year, and welcome back, my very good friend, my good sick friend, Chris Aiken.
Hey, I'm here. Do I sound good?
Well, I definitely don't want to blow your vocals out tonight.
Nah, if we do, we do. It's fine. You know, I'm okay. I mean, as you know, I've been dog sick all week, but I'm here tonight. I feel okay, and my voice is probably the best it's been all week because I haven't spoken since Tuesday. So time to do this, man. You know, I knew this is the first week back. There's no way in fuck am I missing it.
Sure.
Hey,
dude, actually, you know what? You could actually just back your mic off just a shade.
Look at that. I'm too loud for you with my shit voice.
Right there.
All right.
You were kind of maxing out the compressor here, so I was just like, wow, you come out the gate strong tonight.
Well, you know, after not speaking for 5 days or whatever, I'm booming.
Right, exactly. So here we are, Chris. It's 2014. It's another year of the Classic Metal Show. This is the beginning of the 18th year of the show.
Yes.
Actually, the day after tomorrow will be the actual official 18th anniversary.
Do you feel old when you say 18 years that you've been sitting here doing this shit?
Well, you know what's funny is I sit here and think I started this show when I was 32.
Right.
And now I'm 50.
Ooh, wow. Oh, by the way, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Since we were off.
Thanks.
Look at you, Mr. 5-0.
Yeah, I know. So it's weird. I went from being 32, just 2 years out of my 20s,
right,
to being 50. How does that happen?
It's a lot of years, my friend.
I know, isn't it? I mean, it just went with a blink of an eye.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I went to broadcasting school, you know, to get into this nonsense when I was 31.
Mm-hmm.
And started the show when I was just turned 32. And now I just turned 50.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's just a bizarre the short ride between your 20s to 50.
Right.
So,
shit. Talk for a minute. Somebody's at my door.
Somebody's at your door. Maybe it's the Chinese food guy.
I don't have any, but talk for a minute.
All right. Well, anyway, Chris is answering his door. Maybe he's got strippers coming to the CMS Studio B. Maybe it's who knows. But they should know better than to interrupt the Classic Metal Show, especially since it's the first show back for the brand new year. But anyway, even though Chris is sick, he's lined up a bunch of stuff for us to talk about tonight. And since we've been away for basically 3 weeks, we got to make up tracks, make up time for the things that we haven't had a chance to comment on. And we're going to do a lot of that tonight as long as Chris's voice holds out. So If you are listening to the Classic Metal Show, we are live in the chat room. If you've never been in our chat room, it's really easy to sign up if you have a Facebook account or if you're on Gmail or whatever. This thing will allow you to sign in with numerous ways. So go over to chatandkill.com, chatandkill.com. Jump in there, be a part of the show, and join us in the chat room. And let us know you're there. And also, if you want to hit us up with an email, you can do that as well. Request at theclassicmetalshow.com. Request at theclassicmetalshow.com. So welcome to the new year, everybody. I'm glad to be back. I always enjoy that little break we have here in the wintertime when we bring you the best of shows. We had a couple weeks ago, we had the Top 20 CD Countdown show, which I actually listened to 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, I listened to it 3 times, and I listened to the best of show twice.
You know, I still have not made it all the way through the best of show, but the putting together the top 20, God, did I listen to it too much? Got to wonder about Tim James.
Well, he definitely was the odd man out, that's for sure.
I just, that he kept repeating over and over and over again that there were not enough good releases in 2013 to
justify his list, yeah.
Yeah, but he must have said that 8 times.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, Tim, what the fuck? Do you only get like one of every 50 releases that's put out over there in Australia? I mean, goddamn, man. And Megadeth, Red and Jerry should be punched in the fucking dick hole for putting that Megadeth up in their list. What's wrong with those guys?
Didn't make my list.
Didn't make my list either. Hell no.
Well, there wasn't enough quality releases, so.
That's true. Tim must have called him and told him that they were allowed to use that one.
Right.
Because Tim used it too. Fucking fool.
Right. Well, the one that made me laugh right from the jump from Red and Jerry is how poor the Black Sabbath was, but we picked it anyway.
Yeah, we hate this. It wasn't very good. There wasn't very much good to listen to, but here it is on our top 20.
Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. It wasn't very good at all. But we like this song off of it, so yeah, what the hell? We just threw it in there.
Yeah, we're too lazy to actually find an album we like, so we'll go with this one.
I was just like, you're supposed to play up the qualities of why you picked the album because it was a good one.
Yeah.
This wasn't very good, and we didn't enjoy it, and it was really disappointing, and there wasn't that many. It wasn't what we expected, and it was kind of weak, and but here it is anyway.
What's your thought that they just looked at the list of everything that was put out and they said, "Oh yeah, we know these guys. Put them on there."
Could be. I don't know.
That's my thought.
I don't know, but anyway, it was definitely an interesting list. Obviously, you went with some, went with some stuff that I didn't pick. That some of it actually, to be honest with you, I didn't do my homework as well as I could have, because there were things in there that I totally forgot was released.
Yeah, well, dude, that was it. It was a very, very busy year, and I'll give Tim credit where credit's due. Tim called me and Red and Jerry out for the Karabi record, which I guess came out late November of 12.
Yeah, it did.
But I didn't realize that it did. I know I got it in April of 13 from the label, so only because I looked at the date on the folder in my cloud. And so I know when I got it, and so that was kind of how I put it in there. But Tim called me out on it, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Sure.
I'm never usually that lazy.
Right. Well, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I thought the lists were, granted, Tim kind of missed the point on what we were doing there, but regardless, overall, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I a lot of great music to listen to.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. There was all kinds of there was a lot of bands. I mean, if nothing else, whether you agree or disagree with what we played for the 8 hours of show, you certainly learned about a lot of bands.
Sure you did.
What did we have? 40 odd bands that were featured?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a lot of music, a lot of different music.
Right.
So I thought it was really good.
Sure. Let's see here. I'm just looking at the chat room, seeing what's being said in there. People wishing me a belated happy birthday, so thank you.
Yeah.
Those of you who threw a little birthday wish to me on the CMS Facebook page, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you got some love there, didn't you?
I got a few. I got a few people threw a few birthday wishes at me.
Sure did.
Let's see. How did I spend my birthday? Oh yeah, I spent it. I spent it in bed watching Netflix.
Mr. Partier, you are.
Well, what can I tell you? There was nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Yeah, well, I didn't do much more than that. I worked all day and then went and had dinner with my brother and his kids. But that was my Christmas day.
Right.
Didn't do anything fantastic, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It just came and went without notice.
Well, as you know, I was busier than busy this break. I needed more than anything because I had so many things going on with the book and with the docking website had to be done by the 1st. So there was a lot going on.
Which, by the way, there is a brand new docking website out there, docking.net.
Mm-hmm.
Go over there and see Chris's handiwork. It's very interactive. A lot of ways that you can listen to some tunage over there. You linked everything up to Spotify.
Yeah.
All the albums are represented over there. There's a little, there's a whole page of the studio releases and the live releases and the special editions and, so anything so anything you want to listen to or check out if you've never had that opportunity, it's all right there in one place.
Yeah, that was like the big upgrade this time was, when I was talking to Don about doing the new site, Don was insistent that we put more music on the site.
Sure.
And then when I told Don I thought I could put all the music on the site without giving it away for free, so people still have to buy it, but even if they don't buy it, that there's still some payment, however small it is, that goes to the band.
Right.
Then he was all in. He was excited that, and Don, he doesn't give a fuck about the money part of it anymore. He's smart.
Yeah.
And he knows that doesn't mean anything, but he was excited about the fact that the fans, not necessarily the old fans, because he knows the old fans have all the stuff, but the younger generation can literally hear it all now.
Yeah, absolutely. I went through it. I mean, I've got all the CD. In fact, I got more shit than Don has.
Sure.
And in fact, I've given him everything he has.
Right.
And no, but even I went through there and clicked on the different things just to say, oh yeah, check that out, and just kind of listen to this and that, and it was just like that's nice clean job and very easily maneuverable, and it's just very cool, and again celebrating the 30th anniversary of Tooth and Nail, 30 years. Yep.
That's stop making me feel so old. I remember when I got it.
Right.
Jesus. I remember seeing that tour. I hate to say it, but I saw that tour with Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister. I got the poster on the wall here. Twisted Sister and docking at the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I saw it probably the night before. It was either the night before or the night after at the Coliseum with Big Bamboo as the opener.
Right.
Remember them?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
They were the one-off. Yeah, just a one-off.
They were a nothing, but... Dude, you want to hear something funny? This has nothing to do with nothing, but we had a request for today. One of our fans was going through a lot of the really old archives.
Okay.
And was like, dude, how come you guys never play Steel Piston? He wants to hear some Steel Piston tonight.
Nice.
He's like, oh, you guys got to play some of that Steel Piston.
Sure.
And I was like, wow, it's been a while since we've had a request for that.
Right.
Steel Piston, of course, being Neely's band from the 80s.
Yeah, the Sunset Strip Steel Piston that never went anywhere.
Almost made it. You guys almost made it.
Yeah. It's a long, sad story.
Yeah, no, and we don't need to revisit it again this year, but, it's just interesting that every time people find out about Steel Piston and that you were in it, they want to hear it.
Yeah, they want to know all about it.
Yep.
Nice. Well, speaking of Hollywood and back in the day and stuff, on the Netflix, I saw a documentary called Sunset Strip.
Okay.
Did you watch that?
Sunset Strip I have not watched.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It takes you from the very, very early days, back in the glamorous Hollywood days.
Yeah.
To, as it evolved into the 60s with the establishment of the Whiskey A Go-Go and the Roxy and the Rainbow to, the punk era to the, hair band era to, that it just sort of went to the wayside during the 90s to the revitalization of it, in its current form.
Sure.
Stuff like that. And, they feature Lemmy is on there, of course, because he's like a staple on the Sunset Strip at the Rainbow, and talk to Alice Cooper and Ralph Saenz because, they featured at the they were featured at the Key Club there for, a couple of years,
Right.
and things like that. And they talked to Johnny Depp because he had the Viper Room over there. And it's just kind of an interesting take on the Sunset Strip.
Well, that's cool. I'll definitely check that out.
So
You know what, dude? You're like, for me anyway, you've replaced Netflix telling me that this and that's recommended for me. Because I'll tell you what, every time you recommend something for me, it's crazy fucked up, and I love it to death. I have watched, I don't know if this was over the break or before, but you turned me on to a movie called 3-2-1 Boom.
Yeah. We just watched a week ago.
Week ago?
Yeah.
I've watched it 4 times now.
Really?
So fucked up.
It's in the whole fucked up realm as Very Bad Things.
Dude, it's worse. It might be the most fucked up movie ever. What's worse than that?
Well, I don't know that it's worse, but I'm just thinking it's in the twisted, sick vein of like Very Bad Things.
Yeah, it definitely is. But just, ugh. I mean, it just goes into some places that are even darker than my mind will allow me to go.
And you're sitting there going, "Oh, poor Jax."
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, this is Jax from fucking Sons.
Yeah.
And he is just really having a bad time of it.
And then you just like and then Clay is just cringeworthy.
Oh my God. Clay, I can't believe he has not taken more shit for that part once he became Clay.
Ugh.
Wouldn't you expect that once he's this big badass that the video of that would have popped up somewhere just to embarrass him?
You would have thought.
Never did.
Yeah.
What a fucked up movie.
Sure.
Jesus.
Right. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Love it. Love it. Need it on DVD.
Nice. Let's see here. Chris Neeley, have you ever seen a Serbian film? Want to talk about a fucked up movie?
I've never seen this.
A Serbian film? That's the name of it? A Serbian film?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of that.
I don't know about it, but anyway. Well, dude, I don't want to waste your talents here just shooting the shit.
Why, is it going already?
No, I just don't know how well you're going to hold out for the next 5.5 hours.
I'll make it. Don't worry.
But,
I'll make it. I may be like, but I'll be there.
But we have a whole list of topics here to get to tonight.
Sure do.
And you've picked out a few good ones there and whatnot. And so what I think we'll do is I'll let you. Oh, did you figure out who was at your door?
Yeah, it was my kids' friends.
Oh, and you had to go answer the door?
Well, they're both in bed
at this time of the night.
You know what? I think they stayed up all night and most of the day playing video games.
Oh.
So I think they went to bed at like 6 o'clock or whatever.
Well, if you were still happily married,
yeah,
what would your wife had said if these boys were in bed at 6 o'clock at night?
Oh, she'd have been fine with that. That's a good Christian way.
Really?
Yeah, because that means that you're not spending your time up at night with all the evil.
Anything after dark, there's nothing that good can come.
Nothing good could happen after dark.
Right.
The sun goes down, it's all bad.
Right. The vampires come out.
It's just that closing time before Jesus comes to save you on Sunday.
Right. Wow.
That's it.
Very interesting. All right, dude. Well, we are back. I'm going to go get a drink, get things rolling here for me.
All right.
Let you, soothe your voice a little bit, and then we'll come back and we'll get into some of this topical stuff.
All right.
So if you're listening to the Classic Metal Show live, as I said, we are in the chat room, chatandkill.com, chatandkill.com. Just be a part of the show or send us an email, request at theclassicmetalshow.com, and maybe we'll open up the studio lines tonight and let people call in and regale us with their holiday adventures.
Absolutely.
Maybe somebody's got some good stories to tell or something.
Sounds good to me.
So anyway, Well, is there something you'd like to hear, sir?
Yep.
What would you like to hear?
Little Angels.
Okay.
Since I'm gonna go mellow. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Little Angels. Don't Pray for Me from this album of the same name.
Okay. Let's see here. Little Angels. Don't Pray for Me.
Yep.
All right. And you want to hear the title track?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got it.
Cool.
All right, everybody go get a drink. Go settled in. We'll be back in a few minutes, play a couple tunes, let Chris rest his voice for a couple, and we'll be back. So here it is. It's Little Angels for the Don't Pray For Me release. This is the title track exclusively here
on your classic metal show.